Okay, before you watch this video, two things that everybody needs to know. First of all of these are recorded and edited at least a day or two in advance, some of them even more. And any changes that occur between recording and uploading, those I will discuss in the first episode of WNBA Weekly. If someone gets hurt during preseason, odds are I'm going to miss it by like an hour or so. And then I will talk about that on May 13th when I upload the first episode of the season. Second of all, I am not in any way associated with the WNBA or any of their sponsors or affiliates. I am not part of the Associated Press. I'm just a guy who loves basketball and wants to talk about the game that I love. So yeah, all of these are just my own personal opinions based on the observations that I've made. I do take into account some of the things that the media and players and other people will say, but at the end of the day, these are my opinions. So if I happen to say something negative about one of your favorite teams, deal with it. Got a sinus infection today. I'm not feeling my best, but I gotta power through this just so I can keep to my damn schedule. Greetings and welcome to the Fan Perspective. I'm your host Nathan Mal. These are the 2017 WNBA preseason power rankings, where I look at the moves that a team made during the offseason, try to predict where I think they will finish at the end of the regular season. And the team at number 5 is... I have a lot of personal hatred toward this team because the competition committee just had to make that damn rule change that season, and then Alysha Clark misses the easiest layup of her career. Her fingers were like 2 inches from the net. Seriously. I'm pretty sure she did it on purpose to try and steal Stewie from us. Whatever, I digress. I'm just saying, Stewie should have been a star. She should be here in San Antonio, but no! Okay, got that out of my system. So, with selecting Breanna Stewart, Seattle suddenly went from bottom of the league, looking like they're going to be a long rebuilding period, having lottery picks for like 5 straight seasons, to suddenly, we're back in the playoffs and now we're contending for championships. Damn it, Alysha Clark! A pox on your house! I have a feeling this one's going to be unusually long because I'm going to go on a few tangents. I'll try to edit as much of them out as I can, but some of these things just need to be said. Alysha Clark may not be the most hated person in San Antonio. I mean, we've still got a lot of Lakers like Kobe and Shaq, and especially Derek Fisher. We'll never forgive him. But you're inching closer to the top 10, Alysha. Every successful year that Breanna Stewart has, Alysha Clark's name inches closer to that top 10. So yeah, by selecting Breanna Stewart last year, they've already made themselves championship contenders this year. And they didn't really have to make too many moves this offseason, but they still made a few significant ones. The biggest and most important of which is being able to bring in Carolyn. At 6'6", she's one of the few true centers in the league, and she's shown herself to be a solid, consistent presence in that middle. And one of the biggest areas where Seattle has been lacking was defense and rebounding. I mean, Breanna Stewart was close to triple-doubles a few times last year, and one of the main reasons for that is because they didn't have too many others who could get in the paint and grab the boards away from the team. So bringing in Carolyn, you might not be on Breanna Stewart triple-double watch quite as much, but that's even worse because now she's freed up to make plays just all over the damn floor. They also brought in some veteran free agents, signed some talented draft picks, but none of that really matters because the key to this storm is going to be the players that they already have established on the roster. They've got 3 first overall draft picks that look like guaranteed first ballot Hall of Famers right now. They've got Stewie, damn you Alysha Clark. They've got Stuart Lloyd. They've got Sue Bird. I mean, Sue Bird right now looks like she could potentially be the all-time leader in assists by the end of the season. Now, she had her knee scoped, but from what I keep seeing, the reports I'm hearing, it looks like she's on pace to come back, and she'll probably still have a long and very impactful season. I mean, it may take a few games to get her legs under her, but assisting doesn't necessarily require you to run and jump. And it's been pointed out that, she had 188 assists last year. If she has that number, she will become number 1 overall this year. But that's the highest number she's had since 2003. She has shooters on her team, though. That's why her numbers made that remarkable jump. It's not just her health, it's the talent or level of the players around her. Now, you've got people like Lloyd and Stewart, and if she continues to develop, Mosqueda Lewis, there are players around her who can hit their jumpers. Plus, Sue Bird having a bum knee doesn't bother me, because I'm about to make NBA comparisons just because there are very few people. The WNBA is still relatively new. It's like right now you've got Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird. They're going to be the guards that every guard after them gets compared to. Now, we're going to be comparing Danielle Robinson to Sue Bird. We're going to be comparing Kelsey Plum to Diana Taurasi. Right now, there just aren't too many people to compare those two to, so I'm going to the NBA. Russell Westbrook, one of the most explosive playmakers I've ever seen. And there's probably going to be a drastic difference between Russell Westbrook at 40 and Russell Westbrook at 20. He's not going to be destroying the rims when he's 40. When his legs go out, when he starts hitting that wall, you're going to see it. You're going to tell. Sue Bird seems more like a John Stockton type of player. Never the fastest, never the strongest, but always just a very cerebral player. The game lives up here. And he was able to set so many league records which seem damn near unbreakable. And the reason why he's considered one of the best ever is why he's able to set so many remarkable records is because he played until his 40s and he just never lost a step. Because he didn't make plays with his legs, he made plays with his mind, and he just continued being solid and consistent throughout his entire career. That's the type of playmaker I see in Sue Bird. And I may be a little bit too optimistic here. She is one of my favorite guards ever to play in this league, but that's the kind of playmaker I see her being. I don't expect it to happen, but I also would not be shocked to see Bird play until she's 43. And forget 3,000 assists, I could damn well see this girl getting 5,000. Like I said, let me reiterate, I do not expect that to happen, but I know she'll give us, she's probably taking it a year at a time, just seeing how she feels. I expect at least 2 or 3 good years left out of her before you see her lose any of that magic. Sue Bird, nothing but love and respect for you. She's had an amazing career. She's already proven to be one of the best ever. And from this point on, it's just adding to the resume. There's nothing you can do that can erase the legacy she's already built. Alicia Clark, hate your guts. But with that big three in place, Stewie, Lloyd, and a commander like Bird running the show, with those three healthy and playing to their level, no doubt in my mind that they're going to steamroll at least a few opponents this year. They've got a lot of talent in place. They're too good a team to struggle too much. I think, the Bird injury, if there's any setbacks and she ends up missing time, I think that hurts them. But overall, as long as you've got Stewie in place, they're at least a 500 team or better. This is already a good team with a really strong core, and the few weaknesses that they do have, they made steps specifically to address them. So I expect them to just continue getting stronger and stronger, and stronger and stronger and stronger every single season until Breanna Stewart retires. Damn you, Alicia Clark. So that's why, despite my hatred and contempt for Alicia Clark, I still rank Seattle as one of the best teams in the league this year. The main reason they're this low is because the teams above them just have more proven records, especially in the recent seasons, with one exception, which we will get to, spoiler alert, in tomorrow's edition. So that's it for today. I'm all done talking about how much I love Seattle, with the exception of Alicia Clark because she stole Stewie from us and I'll always hate her for it. So that's it for this edition of WNBA Preseason Power Rankings. Tune in tomorrow for the next all-new episode where we finally hit the top 4. And let me tell you, everyone in the top 4, I pretty much feel like these are the people with the best shot at the title. So until the next time you see me, this has been The Fan Perspective. I'm your host, Nathan Lau, and I hope you have a good day, unless your name is Alicia Clark, because I hate you. I'm just kidding. I still hope you have a good day, but I still hate you though.